No, no thank you. No, I've told you already. No, I'm not going to repeat myself. No. No, I do not want a conservatory. 1, because I can't afford it. 2, because I live in a tower block. And 3, because the world is about to end.
Come in.
Cup of tea.
Oh, haven't had that before?
What, you never had a cup of tea?
No, the waitress service.
Oh, I just thought you might be... I thought you might be thirsty.
Heston here?
He's with a patient, Mrs. Reuben, so it might be a while.
Okay.
No, I think I'm allergic to that, so that won't be any good. And now the cold weather's going to bring on my arthritis.
Well, we do have to expect a little wear and tear with the passing of years.
Yes, but the worst thing of all is my tinnitus. It's a constant whistling. Can you not get rid of it?
Get rid of what?
Tinnitus. A constant whistling.
Well, tinnitus is a symptom of something else, like an ear infection. Can I have a look?
Well, can you not just rip out both of my eardrums? It's not as though I need to hear anyway, all the rubbish people talk.
This is a little bit drastic. Right, don't forget this. Enough pills to sink a battleship.
Yes, and that's another thing. Why do I have to come over here every month to pick up my repeat prescription? Is it really necessary?
Perhaps I enjoy our little liaison.
Please don't pretend you're God's gift. I'm an atheist.
Well, there are several reasons we ask people to come in for a repeat prescription. One is to keep an eye on the condition.
It takes me 3 buses to get here. Do you know that? 3 buses.
You only live half a mile away.
Get the 786 to the Henley Road, the 22 to St Mary's, and then the number 9 to the university.
There must be a simpler way. I don't actually use the bus myself, but I'm sure one of the junior members of staff can help.
I did not come here for a lecture on public transport.
Right, well, I've got my A to Z, and... Mrs. Reuben! Hello?
Come in!
Julia, don't jump.
Oh, sorry, I'm trying to get this fly. It's driving me nuts.
What's he doing?
Buzzing.
Ah. Listen, about tonight.
Yep.
What time do you want me?
7 o'clock if you just want to eat, or 6 o'clock if you want to help me with the cooking.
Right. Well, I will see you at 6 then.
Okay.
Are you absolutely sure this is a good idea?
How do you mean?
Well, it's just when I told Ronnie about it, he seemed dead set against it.
When have you ever listened to Ronnie?
Fair point. It's just if Jimmy does open up about Eva, are we really ready to deal with that?
Well, if he carries on bottling things up and has a nervous breakdown, are we ready to deal with that?
Another good point, well made. See you at 6.
Yeah, thanks, George. Tonight's the night.
Another day, another dollar.
Sorry?
Right, I'm off.
Good.
Yeah, I was having a chat with a patient earlier, and she was really fed up that she had to keep coming in every month for a repeat prescription. And you know what? I think she's got a point. It's just another example of the nanny state. You can only have so many drugs, so many paracetamol. Kids can't play with conkers.
We're talking about Mrs. Reuben here.
Well, we might be.
Well, in case we are, this is a woman with a long history of depression, and I would be concerned indeed if she came to me and asked for a large quantity of drugs.
Well, she's not a teenager. She's not going to do anything silly.
Have you read her case notes?
Well, I glanced at them.
Well, in case it slipped your attention, she lost her son in a train crash some years ago and has since made several attempts at suicide.
Yeah, well, I think I would have noticed if it was that bad.
Would you?
Well, what's that supposed to mean?
Heston, there is a great deal more to general practice than pushing pills.
Yeah, I'm well aware of my job description. Thank you very much. I have 25 years' experience. I've received awards for clinical excellence, and every year, I receive Christmas cards from grateful patients. So perhaps you should sort out your chaotic personal life before you start lecturing me on professionalism, okay?
You're watching Midlands Today from the BBC. Thanks for joining us. Still ahead in tonight's programme.
Battling the pain barrier, the schoolgirl ignoring her own illness to raise money for others by beating, well, an unusual world record. Now, officially, just 15 people sleep rough every night in the whole of the West Midlands, just 6 in Birmingham, and none at all in the whole of Warwickshire.
But while the government says that's proof its policies to get people off the street are working, many claim the figures are nonsense.
I'm not ready. No. I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
Ruth, I'm gonna toddle off now.
All right.
I've got a patient to see, so,
Okay.
I mean, Daniel will cope if there's a last-minute rush, so it'll do him good to take his mind off, things, so, yeah, you'll cope, you and Daniel?
Yeah, of course.
Good.
Oh, Jimmy, you haven't forgotten about tonight, have you?
No, thought your home cooking's the only thing keeping me going.
I'll see you later.
Yeah.
Hi, Jimmy, it's Ronnie. Look, could you give me a call as soon as you get this? It's really important. Okay, thanks, bye.
What are you talking about? I'm seeing you in a few hours.
Yeah.
Hiya, I know you've not had time to eat, so
Right.
I wasn't sure what you wanted, so it's egg and cress.
Ruth, you don't have to keep doing this.
Do what?
This endless tea and sympathy.
Well, I just thought...
Yeah, well, I know what you're thinking, and in your head you think you're doing the right thing, but actually, how can I put it? You're not.
Fine. Well, you can just wallow in self-pity then.
What?
I don't care how bad you feel. I don't care if you're going through hell. I just want you to do the right thing.
Meaning?
What are you going to do to get Izzy back?
I wasn't the one to take her away.
I know, but at the very least, you've got to keep trying. She's your daughter, for heaven's sake. My mum lost one of her children. Not in the same circumstances, but she never got over it. It ruined her.
You finished?
Yes.
I got work to do.
Right, well, I'll leave you to lock up.
Those could do with a couple of more minutes.
Gee, I'm not looking forward to my appraisal with Heston.
Oh, really?
Well, he's not exactly from the same planet as the rest of us, is he? I'm worried that I'm going to get marked down for not knowing the Latin name for every ailment, or my handwriting is not sufficiently rococo.
Come on. He's not that bad.
Oh, that'd be Ronnie.
Okay.
Hey.
Jimmy, you're early.
Yeah, well, I didn't see much point in going home and then coming back out again. Is it a problem?
No, it's fine. I just don't want you to discover my culinary secret.
Secret's that?
It's a takeaway.
Good evening, gentlemen. Sorry to encroach on your social gathering. If I might avail myself of the door.
Yes?
Ah, Mrs. Rubin, it's me here, Dr. Carter.
Yes, I know. I do have eyes in my head.
Right. If you recall, we had a bit of a chinwag earlier about repeat prescriptions, and put on my thinking cap, and I decided, yes, you can have a 3-month prescription, which means you only have to come into the surgery 4 times a year.
Is that all?
Well, to be frank, I am a bit worried about you. If you remember, we didn't exactly hit it off this morning. Any chance I can come in?
I've got the chain on.
Perhaps you could take it off?
No.
Oh, fine. I'll just talk to the wall then, shall I? I have a lot of interesting conversations with the wall, Mrs. Rubin.
Lisa, I just want a few minutes with her, that's all. I'll do whatever you want. I'm not going to take her away from you. You can't do this to me. Don't hang up. Lisa. Lisa.
Yes.
Mrs. Rubin, can you help me? I've been mugged.
Oh.
They've taken my phone, car keys and wallet.
Well, what's all that got to do with me?
Well, I need to come in and phone the police.
Well, I suggest you use a public call box.
What?
I don't let people in. I never let people in.
Oh, fine. Yeah, I'll spend the night in the hallway and use a bin bag for a bed and rub two sticks together to... Ah. Yes, thank you, Mrs.
Ooh. So, tell us about your trip to the Caribbean then.
Oh, yeah, it was amazing. Me and my mates stayed at the actual house where James Bond wrote Goldeneye.
James Bond, I thought he was a fictional character.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, the guy who wrote James Bond. But we climbed the security fence at night and we all went skinny dipping in his pool.
Oh, that would definitely be running. Excuse me.
And this was just after Eva's funeral.
Yeah, I had to get away, have some time to myself. You all right, mate? No, I'm sorry I didn't get back to you. I just couldn't be bothered.
So it's made of calf skin leather with the initials HC on the front. Okay, good. Thank you. Mrs. Rubin, what are all these boxes?
So I had to hide behind this great big pile of coats, and he was up on stage singing "Strangers in the Night." Two lonely people, we were strangers in the night.
Does anybody want some more wine?
Yeah, I love some.
Oh, hang on. Is that wires if you're driving?
Ronnie?
Well, I can always come and stay at yours.
Well, yes, you could. You're welcome to sleep in Brackensferry Castle.
Oh, I see. I'll try anything once. I think I need to go to the little boys' room. Sleep.
Me too.
Oh, why don't you use the one downstairs, Ronnie?
It's a boy thing.
You're not moving house, are you? Having a car boot sale? What's in all the boxes?
Supplies.
What sort of supplies?
Sardines, corned beef, rice pudding.
Why do you need so many?
For the end of the world.
Oh, right. When's that coming?
Any day now. Well, you can see it on the news, can't you? The world's getting warmer. Water levels are rising, and the Americans have even started growing food for fuel, so soon you won't be able to buy any food in the shops.
I hope you got a tin opener. It'd be dreadful if the end of the world came and you'd forgotten to pack one.
I've got everything I need, thank you. Torches, medicine. I've even got a rubber dinghy here for when the floods come.
Yeah, Mrs. Rubin, ever since I was a boy, people have been predicting the end of the world, and I have to say reports of its death are greatly exaggerated. Anyway, if the end of the world came, I think I'd rather go with it. I'd be rather lonely sitting up here, watching all the bodies piling up below.
I don't care. It's people's own fault if they haven't prepared properly. Don't expect any sympathy from me.
Yeah, Mrs. Rubin, I don't want to pry, but is it possible that these dark thoughts you're having are anything to do with the death of your son?
What?
You see, sometimes if we don't grieve properly, they can fester and eat us up inside.
Get out!
Mrs. Rubin.
How dare you come into this house and talk about things? You shouldn't come into here and talk about things.
Well, I was only trying to...
Get out!
Help.
Hello? What? It's for you.
May I come in?
Yeah, I'm just about done here anyway.
I'd like to talk to you. Do you know why Julia's invited you here this evening?
Yeah, to have dinner.
No, she's noticed that something's not quite right. I mean, 3 months ago you lost Eva, and now here you are, laughing and joking about your holiday in the Caribbean.
Oh.
Yeah. I haven't told anyone. I certainly haven't told George, and she's a bit, you know, surprised. So maybe it's about being careful how you play things. Okay?
Thank you very much. That was most helpful. That was the police. Apparently some kids have been behaving strangely near the Binsey Road viaduct. Do you know it?
I think so.
Right, well, I'm going to go down there and see if they've got my key and wallet.
Well, but the police do all that.
No, they'll be gone by the time the police get there. So where is this viaduct?
It's just over the Digby estate. You know, past the community centre. You can't miss it.
I'm not very good with directions. You couldn't possibly come with me.
Oh, well, you can't expect me to. I never go out after dark.
Well, I'll be there. Won't be long. I mean, you'll be completely safe.
Now you turn left here, and then it's just over the road.
Isn't this where we came from?
Well, it's not my fault. It's the tinnitus. I get confused.
I'm sorry, should we go back?
No, it's just when I get the whistling, that's when I start to hear.
Mrs. Rubin, I know what's going on. This morning I had a look at the map to see why it takes you so long to get to the surgery. You can't go anywhere near railway lines, can you? Look, we can do this. Come on.
Right, any more for any more?
No, thank you, Julia. I couldn't possibly.
But here's to good food.
Yeah, and good friends.
Yeah, I'd like to make a toast actually to have some friends, Eva. It was her birthday on Friday, and it just took every bit of strength I had to get through it, you know. And I know I don't always show it, but I think about her every second of the day, and if I could just have her back with me, you know. Then...
This is it.
Charming spot. Can you see it?
What?
My wallet.
Well, what's that?
Well done. You must have eyes like a hawk. There's hardly anything taken. Mrs. Rubin? Mrs. Rubin?
It's just over there, you know, where it happened. Lethbridge Station, October 31st, 1985. It was just after 6 o'clock. And I'd come to meet Danny. I'd come to take him home. And I was standing on that bridge over there. And I was looking down on the platform. And I could see when the train pulled in. And everyone put their arms out of the windows, you know, like they do, to open the doors. And it looked like this big centipede. And then, suddenly, out of the blue, there comes this other train. But it was the wrong train, on the wrong track. And there's this great big siren, and it's screaming, and then it just got like it was all in slow motion. But there was nothing anybody could do except just watch it as it crashed and crash. And it was all my fault, you see. Danny's dead because of me. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry, Danny.
Come on. Let's get you home.
Have you been for any counselling, Jimmy?
John Riddin's very good.
Oh, come on.
What?
This is supposed to be a meal, not an episode of Trisha.
Yeah, no, it's okay, yeah. No, I did go for some.
And how'd you find it?
In the phone book under B for bereavement.
Well, no, I meant how'd you get on?
Yeah, it was good. It was good to talk about it.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, at first it was difficult, but didn't know how to cope with so many questions.
Yeah, some people don't know when to back off.
Oh, Ronnie.
Well, stop harassing him.
I'm not harassing him. We're trying to help him.
I just thought it was a bit odd that you went to the Caribbean after Eva died.
Why?
I don't know, I just thought you might have gone somewhere a bit quieter, you know. Remember her.
I'm not likely to forget her, am I?
Well, no, of course not. I mean,
What are you saying?
but I'm not saying anything, really, just wondering what's going on in your head.
What do you mean?
We're just concerned about you, Jimmy.
We just think it's strange.
Will you give him some room?
No, why is it strange?
No, not strange, exactly.
Look, Jimmy, we know you, right? And just recently your behaviour has been...
What?
Well, a bit erratic.
You're grieving?
No, I think it's more than that.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
Julia.
No, Jimmy.
No, stop, okay? Stop, because I can't go on with this.
Jimmy.
No, they may as well know.
Know what?
Eva's not dead.
There you are. Put a dash of brandy in it.
Dr. Clay says I've got to be careful with brandy.
Well, I wouldn't believe everything Dr. Clay says. Mrs. Reuben,
Yes.
why did you say it was all your fault?
Well, because he didn't want to be on that train. He was only 21 and he just started his first job, Danny, and he asked me if I'd lend him the money to buy a car, but I said no because nobody ever gave me any handouts, so that's why he was there on the train, because I told him to do that.
I see.
But you know, all this food, all this medicine and everything, all this is here because I don't want to die. You see, when the end of the world comes, I don't want to end with it, because what if there is another world after this one and I meet Danny in it and then he sees me? What's he going to think of me? What's he going to say to me?
Mrs. Reuben, you've done nothing to be ashamed of. You told your son to earn his own money, which is sound advice. And then he got killed in a train accident, which is 1,000,000 to 1 chance. Every day, lots of decent people are killed for no rhyme or reason.
Well, aren't you going to phone the police?
What for?
To tell them you've found the wallet, because they're going to go looking for it, aren't they?
Oh, I don't think so.
Why not?
Mrs. Reuben, I wasn't actually mugged. I put the wallet there so that you'd come with me.
Yeah, but the police phoned. I spoke to them.
Yeah, that was me. On my mobile. I've always been a bit of a dab hand at the older amateur dramatics. You should have seen my Nanky Poo.
But why did you?
Because for 25 years, you've been in a living hell all on your own, and I wanted you to share it with someone. Talking of sharing, you sure you need all these tins? Sure there are plenty of homeless groups who'd love to have them. And right now, I could murder a tin of rice pudding.
Jimmy. You don't know what you're saying. This is just some weird way of your mind coping with the grief. Eva is dead.
No, Eva isn't dead, okay? But she might as well be. No, Eva was on a job. She was working for a gangster called Jack Harcourt, and the only way to get him convicted and to get a colleague out of there alive was to fake her own death.
I knew something wasn't right.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, okay?
Are you? Because I think it's sick. You don't have to nix death, a real death. You have to invent some James Bond fantasy.
It wasn't a fantasy. It was the only way to get her out of there.
That's true. She was in real danger.
Well, you knew about this as well?
I don't know how you like it, so I put in brown sugar, cream and honey.
That's exactly how I like it. Looks rather splendid.
Yes, Danny used to say it looked like fairyland.
It's not a bad old world, is it? It's high time you were part of it again. Must be plenty of charities and voluntary groups you could work with.
No, I'm not ready.
Well, maybe not yet. But someday?
Well, thanks for dinner. That won't be an evening I'll forget in a hurry.
You and me both. Honestly, we could have helped. I don't really appreciate being lied to.
No, especially not by your husband.
Oh, come on, it's not as if...
Dad, would you two listen to yourselves? Do you know what? I didn't want to do this. I didn't have any choice. I had to save a life. And now I've told you I've put a life in danger. So cheers, George, Julia, for a night to remember, eh?
I'm Di Moore's replacement. For now, anyway.
I need to talk to someone.
This is about Izzy.
I want contact with her and I'd like you to help me.
You must have seen loads of rape victims.
Yeah. I need you to tell me everything that's happened.
No, I have.
No, you haven't told me why you're in Leo's car. And I need to know.
Dr. Sloan is about to lose his appetite. It's party time with food to die for in Diagnosis Murder. That's next, here on BBC1 Scotland.